Hi everyone, okay. Here's another new guitar. This is an Arum, and this is like, to me this is like the guitar. This is, white spruce top, chocolatey Brazilian back, mahogany neck. It's just like, that's what I think of when I think of a guitar. So here it is, the baseline Arum, the one that I'll judge all others off of. So the spruce is Adirondack. Why am I wearing these? I can't see anything. Adirondack spruce on the top. And Adirondack is the most cheerful of all spruces. Like, it's just willing to give forth its stuff. Adirondack is interesting. So Adirondack is actually red spruce, right? So it's just Adirondack is a specification given to red spruce that's harvested in the Adirondack Mountains, which this actually was. So it has a tendency to. It's probably the least pretty of all the spruces. It's still really nice. Like, this is a really pretty set, and it has nice quarter silking and all that. It's like the prettiest spruce is probably Sitka spruce, which is just it's so gorgeous, and it can sound really good. And likewise, European spruce, all the Italian, German, Carpathian, whatever. They're all the same species. They just come from different regions, and that can be a really wonderful wood. Actually, here's the thing that I've said this again and again. Any species of wood can produce really excellent examples that are going to produce a fantastic guitar. So if you just say, oh, it's Adirondack, like that's just going to make it good, it just doesn't work that way. You have to pick a really good piece of whatever you're using. But then within that, if we accept that we're just choosing from the top shelf of all of these different species, they do have certain different qualities. And the thing I love about Adirondack is it feels like you never can play it so hard that it doesn't. I don't even play that hard, but I mean, I like the idea that there's tons of power. Like, I have kind of a fast car, but I don't drive it fast, but I like that there's fast there in reserve. So I feel the same way about Adirondack, and Brazilian rosewood and Adirondack just to me is like it's almost like a metaphysical. I'm not even into mojo and stuff like that, metaphysics, but I feel like that's like the ultimate combination. So this one is, I don't think the video ever captures just exactly the details I want because I'm just in my shop, whatever. But this is one of the prettiest sets of Brazilian I've ever used. It's very dark, has lots of ink lines, and has like these caramel streaks running through it. Absolutely beautiful. Complemented by Macassar ebony, which has kind of the same color palette. A piece of dark mahogany. I like the dark colored mahogany. And this one has a little bit of curl in it. Just everything on here just has this rich look. So this is the Arum, my 14-inch model guitar, and it has an arm bevel, which comes with all the Kama series guitars. They're just built in. And then this one has the addition of a rib bevel, which I'm doing on a lot of guitars these days. And this guitar is so comfy. I mean, in addition to being a fairly small guitar, it's super soft where your body touches it. So, quit blabbing, Ben Wilborn, and play a song. So I will, and this is it. Let's see. See. It's That's right, 22 frets. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. I'm making a demo, aren't I? So this guitar is really fun to play. I like the Arum because it's so maneuverable. Like, there's something, like it's funny how all the guitars, each company makes their own different guitars. So look at like the archetypal Gibson versus Martin in steel strings. They all have guitars that are sort of like one another. There's a small 13-inch guitar, there's a 14-inch guitar, there's a 15-inch guitar, and there's a 16-inch guitar. And each one of those guitars, no matter what their name is, has a certain quality that's inherent in that body size. The 14-inch guitar just has like a quality of sportiness mixed with still enough bass that makes it like a really wonderful sort of jack of all trades of guitars. My favorite guitars, I think, are 14 and 15-inch guitars. So in like a double O and a triple O or OM in Martin speak. This is my Arum, and it's the 14-inch guitar. So these things record really well. They have a very even tone. The bigger guitars can tend to get bass dominant, and smaller guitars can tend to sort of sound wimpy. They don't have to, but that's sort of like the tendency that you have to fight. And 14s and 15s just sort of land right on the target. So this guitar, I think, has a ton of bass. When you pick up this guitar and you go, wow, a 14-inch guitar, and then you get this sound of it. You're surprised when you have that much bass and power from a guitar this small. And that's because even though it's 14 inches across, it's because of my radial bracing system and the lack of the sound hole in the middle, you have a larger amount of top actually sort of amplifying sound than you would normally get on a guitar this size. One of the things about Adirondack that I really love is it has this quality, and I think I find this in some European spruce too, of being like almost like it's amplified. I know I've said this before, but you play an electric guitar like a Telecaster through a Fender Twin, and it has this like because you're getting an assist, right? You can play really lightly, and the sound just jumps out of it because you've got your friend electricity doing all this work for you. Well, this guitar seems to have that quality without electricity. It just gives back a surprising amount of energy for the amount you put into it. And it has like this saturated tone that I just absolutely love. Like it. Not to mention a ridiculously long sustain. You know, it may be that sustain isn't perfect for every kind of style of playing. I love it. I love having sustain. I love it when I can bend a note like 2 or 3 times up here. And the string isn't having the energy sucked out of it by the guitar, so it just keeps going. You know, it's just an opportunity for expression that you don't have in a guitar that goes thud. So, what did I say things about this? I guess I'm kind of disjointed on this one. This one has, yes, I told you all that stuff. This one is ebony for the fingerboard and bridge, which is sort of my favorite. And then I've been using, I'll just say a couple more things. I've been using these Schertler tuners now for almost all of the Kama series guitars I've been doing. I shied away from them when I was doing more traditional looking guitars because I thought they looked too modern. Now I really, really love them. And I love them more because how they work than how they look, although they're just super plain looking. You know, they look elegant and plain. There's no engraving or anything like that. The bodies of them are aluminum, which means that they're lighter than a normal open back tuner with a steel plate. And they are really easy to use. Like they just all work. I have had guitars with expensive tuners, a certain brand name tuner that has disappointed me. And I'll be playing along and I'll know that like my D string is a little bit flat, but I'm like, I have to use the tuner. And like I shy away from doing it. Like I'll just settle for what I've got because using the tuner is so unpleasant. And that is insane. That should never be the case. These things are very smooth and very certain. I think having this oval, elongated oval knob also gives you a little more leverage, and that makes them, the chances of you playing in tune are much greater. So, Schertler tuners, I love those guys. Okay, I'm out of here. I've said enough. Al, this is your guitar, and I hope you really enjoy it. It's really a jewel-like instrument. And it was fun to make it. I just love making guitars out of this kind of material. So, off I go. Thanks for watching, and I got some other cool guitars coming up, too, so see you soon.